Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm really excited. Tonight I'm going to see Taylor Swift during her Eras tour. My husband was finally able to get me a ticket for my birthday, so I'm going tonight. It's Thursday night, and I thought I would do a get ready with me, share what I'm going to be doing for my makeup, my hair. I'll share my outfit later, and then I'll get some clips at the concert, and then I'll include some of those during this video. So don't mind the hair. It's I haven't scrunched out the crunch yet, so it's still crunching a little bit wet. I'm gonna start by using my jojoba oil. I used to use argan oil. Well, I used jojoba oil years ago, and then I had switched to argan oil because I was also using argan oil for my hair, and it just made more sense to just keep one oil instead of multiple oils. But I've gone back to jojoba oil, and I like jojoba oil much better for my skin. Jojoba oil is the number one oil that's most like our natural sebum, and it's really good for my oily skin. It keeps me hydrated without making me oily. So I am so excited, you guys. Taylor Swift is my favorite artist. This will be my third concert. I went to her Red concert, which I believe was in Orlando, and then I went to her Reputation concert, which was the last concert that she put on because of COVID restrictions, and that was in Tampa. And now I'm going to her Eras tour, and I'm so excited because like I said, I just love Taylor Swift, and Red, Reputation are my two top favorite albums, followed closely by Speak Now. If you're familiar with Taylor Swift, then you know what albums I'm talking about. Speak Now and Red and Reputation are my top three albums, and then followed very closely by 1989, and then tied for like the next place would be Folklore and Evermore. I love them both equally, and I really love the new direction that her music has taken. I'm so excited, you guys. So one thing that I've been doing for the last month when applying foundation, a new technique that I've been using, I usually use a sponge, a damp beauty sponge. But I bought this brush last year, Sephora number 64, and I love this for foundation, and I was using this for a while. Then I got out of it, and I was back into using my sponge all the time. And then recently I got back into using this, but what I've been doing, and this is a game changer, I have been spraying my brush with water, and then I get like the best of both worlds. I get this stippling brush, which gives like a beautiful airbrush finish. And then I'm using the water, which makes it, adds moisture in like the way the sponge does. And I just love it. If I'm gonna be doing a foundation that maybe is a little more cakey, or that I just need a little more like softening effect, then I will spray it with my MAC Fix Plus instead of water. But today I'm gonna spray it with water. So for my foundation, I'm gonna use the NARS Soft Matte in Mont Blanc. I've said in one of my other videos, but in case you didn't see that video, I decant all of my foundations into little doe foot applicators. These are just like lip gloss tubes you can get on Amazon, and then I just put a label on it. And then this allows me to, number one, have a doe foot and not have to use my fingers, and it really allows me to control the amount that I'm using, because I like to just use a little bit of foundation. I don't like full coverage, and even using a full coverage foundation, I can really shear it out and get the like consistency that I like. I'm looking down because I have my mirror here. And this Mont Blanc is my perfect shade. This is the best matching foundation I've ever found. I went to Sephora last year because I decided I really wanted to try this foundation after watching many reviews. And I walked in, I told the lady, I'm not really sure what my shade is. She looked at me for like half a second, and she said, "You're Mont Blanc." And I said, okay. And I took it home, and it's like my exact shade match. It does dry down quickly though, so you have to work in sections. So right now it's a little after 12. I'm gonna be leaving probably around 2:30, just to give me enough time to get to Tampa It takes about 2 hours to get there, but on I-4, there's always traffic and congestion, and then there's going to be mad congestion getting into Tampa because of the Taylor Swift concert. Concert doesn't start till 6:30, and that's going to be her opening act. Taylor Swift herself won't take the stage probably till almost 8. So, and I've never even heard of the people opening up for her. Booba something, or I honestly have no idea. So I'm not overly stressed if something happens and I, maybe miss the first half hour of the act or something. But by leaving at 2:30, I really think I'll have plenty of time to get there, park. I already prepaid for parking, and then be able to get into the venue. Okay, so another thing that I've been doing recently that I love, I was doing this before, like last year, the year before, I think I was doing this, and then I had stopped doing it. Now I'm back to doing it, and I love, love, love it. I take my little mini sponge and I spray it with, oops, wrong one. I spray it with my MAC Fix Plus, and this adds moisture because MAC Fix Plus is hydrating. It adds moisture to my under eyes, and also at the same time helps to, not set it, because it's not a setting spray, it's a finishing spray, but it just helps to kind of make everything smooth out and just looks really, really beautiful. My concealer is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage. I love, love, love this concealer. This is in the shade Light Natural. I just do a few dots, like 5 dots. And it just has the most beautiful finish. Really good coverage without being cakey, especially with prepping with my jojoba oil, and then now with using the MAC Fix Plus. It just gives the most beautiful finish and coverage. See, look at that. You can see the difference. You can still see the bluish coming through here. Really, really beautiful. Love it. All right, I'm just gonna spot conceal. I had the lighting is not quite coming across, but I've got like some old marks down on my chin. I had something, I don't know what happened. There's always something that irritates my skin. And then I'll get a little breakout, and then because I have really good skincare, whatever irritates my skin, and then with my skincare, it'll clear up relatively quickly. Like the active breakout will clear up relatively quickly, but then I'm left with marks for months. And these ones just finally cleared up today, really. The last 2 days I've been trying to dry them out, and they just now kind of cleared up, but the marks are still there, obviously. I'll use a little concealer brush just so I can really conceal those really well. I don't want to have to worry about them tonight. And there we go. So that foundation really just covers everything nicely, using a thin layer. I don't feel the need to do too much concealer unless I have active spots. All right, now for powder, I have 2 different, let me set things aside as I'm using them so they don't get in my way. I have 2 different powders I'm gonna use. For my under eyes, I'm gonna use my NARS Crystal something, what's this called? Translucent Crystal. I use this under my eyes. It's a very finely milled crystal powder. Has just the tiniest little I don't want to say, they're not glitters, and they are like little tiny shimmery particles, but they don't come across as being glitter on your eyes. They just kind of deflect the light and just make everything really, really beautiful. And I use this under my under eyes. Sometimes I use it on my cheeks too, but I avoid the, and my forehead maybe a little bit, and I avoid my nose and chin, and I use something different for that. But lately I've only been using under my eyes, and I've been using the same pattern on the rest of my face, and I've been liking that. So that really sets my under eyes nicely and smooths it out. It just makes them look hydrated, not like oily, greasy, just not dry. Okay, and then for the rest of my face, I've been using my Fit Me, which I've been using this for years. This is my third one, I believe. And mine is in the shade Translucent. I went back to the shade Translucent. And I have this big fluffy brush that I use. And then I just fluff that over my whole face. And then I do really good on my nose and my chin. And then, because my nose and my chin are my oily areas, I then will go in with more concentrated so I can really press it into my nose and chin. So then I will just take the sponge that comes with the compact, and I'll just press it on my chin, and press it into my nose and this whole area. And then I also will take my concealer brush, and anywhere that I had to put concealer, anywhere that I spot concealed, I will then set. And then I will just take this brush and then just gently brush away, just to make sure there's no excess just sitting on my skin. So I push it into the skin and then brush away any extra. And that is my base. Okay, and then I move on to bronzer. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Rimmel Stay Matte. This is actually a powder, mattifying powder, and I use the shade 21 Nude, and this is the perfect bronzing shade for me. Then I have another one of these Sephora. I have 3 of these. I have one for foundation, one for bronzer, and one for blush, because I love this so much. And then I'm just gonna put some bronzer on. Okay. Now I know I said I have one for blush, but today I'm gonna use a different brush for my blush. You'll see. So my blush, I'm using this Milk Makeup stick. It's like a cheek and lip duo, and it's in the shade Flip. It is red. Now I did get this hoping I could use this for my lips and my cheeks, but when I put on my lips, it's not quite red enough bam that I want. Red is my favorite lip color, red and mauve, but red is Taylor Swift's signature color, so she's always wearing red lips, so of course I have to wear red. So I was wanting to use this as my lips. I was gonna bring it so I could bring it with, and then I could just be able to touch up my blush if I need to before the concert, and then, you know, my lips. But like I said, it's not quite red enough. But it does look really beautiful on the cheeks. So because it's a little small thing, I'm just gonna use my little small e.l.f. small stipple brush. See how pigmented that is, but it blends out beautifully. And then it does last for a long time on the skin. Now this looks just a little bit crazy, but it's only 12 o'clock and the concert's not till 6:30 tonight, so it will fade a little bit by then. It'll still look really nice, but it will fade a little bit. Now I am gonna bring a little makeup bag to keep in my car when I get there. I know this looks a little crazy, but it'll tone down, trust me. I am gonna bring a little makeup bag in my car, and then, because I know I'm gonna end up being there early, even leaving at 2:30 with all the traffic, I'm still gonna be there a little bit early. So then while I'm in my car, I'll just touch up my makeup before I go in the stadium, because you can't bring anything. You can only bring, so I'm actually really, really nervous, you guys. You can only bring, most stadiums, now let you bring, if you bring a clear bag, then you can bring a clear bag. The stadium, see, look how beautiful that is. That just blended out so nicely. The stadium that I'm going to doesn't allow clear bags. I mean, you can bring a clear bag, that's fine, but it has to be in the size. So it doesn't matter if it's clear. If it's bigger than what you're allowed, they won't let you bring it in. And their size is so small, 4.5 by 6.5. I scoured Amazon trying to find, first I went through all the bags that I have, and the smallest bag that I have is like 5 by 8. So then I scoured Amazon. The smallest bag I could find on Amazon was 4.5 by 7.5, not 6.5. And I've been reading posts on Reddit about how strict this stadium is, and apparently they're extremely strict, and they might not even let me in with that bag that's an inch over specifications. So I'm really nervous. I'm hoping that they let me take it in. I guess I'll update you guys later if they let me bring it in. If they don't, I don't know, I'm gonna have to go back out to my car, put the bag in the car, and then put my keys and my phone in my pocket. I don't know. I really hope they're not gonna be sticklers over 1 inch. All right, so for my highlighter, I'm using my Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. I really like using this. I recently finally picked up the e.l.f. dupe, and it's really nice. I like it. I didn't get it right away because I have this, and they're basically, well, apparently they're dupes, and I still have this, and I'm nowhere near using this up. But I was at Walmart getting something, and I saw it's always been sold out, and I saw it there in the lightest shade, and I was like, well, it seems like it was this, and it was the only one there. And I was like, it seems like it was a sign, so I just grabbed it, and I do really like it. For the e.l.f. one, I've been experimenting putting it not just as highlight, but mixing it into my foundation on just my cheek area, because my cheeks are my more normal, I wouldn't really say dry, but more normal skin, whereas in my forehead, whereas my nose and chin are oily, and then this area is more normal, not necessarily dry, but it can withstand a little bit more moisture or luminosity. So I've been mixing that into my cheeks with my foundation, and it's looking really, really beautiful. Anyways, I really love this as a highlighter, and the e.l.f. one too. So after I do it mixing with my foundation, I will then do the 3 dots that you just saw me do, and it's just beautiful. It's like soft and natural, blends into the skin really nicely. All right, so that is the base. I'm going to set my face with my Skindinavia setting spray. So this one is my MAC, and then this one is my Skindinavia. Now the Skindinavia is an actual setting spray, whereas MAC is a finishing spray. It doesn't have any claims of keeping your makeup, making it last longer, but it just melds everything together. So if I ever have, like, my skin is looking really dry and powdery or just too makeup-y, I will do the MAC setting spray, finishing spray, and then once that dries, I will then set it with my Skindinavia. Today my makeup looks, I think, really beautiful. My skin doesn't look dry at all, so I don't need to use this other than under my eyes. So I'm just setting my face with my oil control Skindinavia. All right, I will do my lips last, but they're feeling really dry, so let me just put some, I've got this CoverGirl clear lip thing that comes with one of their lip products that I have. I'm not using that, but I am using this. Okay. All right, so for my eyes, let me go ahead and use my Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer. It's the only eye primer I use other than the NYX Glitter Glue, which I'll be using that tonight as well, today. Okay. All right, so I decided to use my Viseart shadows. This is that palette that I showed you in my birthday haul. Isn't this gorgeous? This palette is just so beautiful. It's Hesate, which is a like a fairy goddess or a witch goddess, I forget exactly, like a magic goddess. Look at that, isn't that just stunning artwork? It's so amazing. And then in here I ended up putting a bunch of my Viseart shadows. Beautiful. This is just a quick, at first it was just the neutral shades, and then I still had a lot of space left, so I decided to put in my rainbow ones to mix in. I rarely ever actually use the rainbows, but I have used them, and they're really nice to have in there, especially when you mix it with the white, because then you can tone down any of these colors. Okay, so for today, what I'm going to be doing is just a very like neutral crease color, and then I'm going to be putting like glitter on top. I'm debating putting an outer, like smoking up the outer V, because I know by tonight, anything I put on my outer V, even if it's Viseart, no matter what I do, it just fades away within a few hours. So I know by the time I get to the concert tonight, it's most likely going to be faded away or even creased by then. So I'm debating not even putting anything in the outer V at all and just smoking up my lower lash line. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. Plus, I don't want to carry this big palette with me to touch up in my car, so I'll probably bring this to touch up the sparkle, but I think I'm just gonna play it simple. I'm gonna just do this brown in the crease, maybe a touch of the darker one right next to it, so I can get a little bit more dramatic in the crease, but not crazy, because the sparkles are gonna speak for themselves. There we go. Sometimes when you're mixing colors, you have to be careful to get the same ratio for each side. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna do for the lid. I'm gonna do the sparkle, and then I'll do the lower lash line after. So for the sparkle, I'm gonna do my NYX glitter glue. You know what, let me put a base down before I do the glitter on top, just so that it has something to sit underneath it. I think I'll just do this kind of like champagne-y shimmer on the lid. It's going to be covered with glitter, but I want it to have just a little base first. I never use brushes for my shimmer shadows. I always just use my finger. But today I kind of don't really feel like getting glitter all over myself, so I'm going to use this brush, and I hope it works, because honestly I never use brushes for I don't like that with the shimmer. I never use brushes for, there we go, my eye color. I always use my finger, so I hope using the brush is going to be okay for the glitter. All right, so now it has a little shimmer base. I'm going to put the glitter glue on top. Okay, and while that's still tacky, I'm going to add the Fenty How Many Carats, and this is just a really shimmery white sparkles. I'm going to flip the brush over, use the other side. Oh, okay. I don't know if that's coming across. I'll insert pictures later. Take a picture in good lighting. Oh. I'm just gonna use my finger anyways to kind of smooth it out. Then I like to use my brush, kind of blend the edges and then go upwards, and then whatever gets onto the brush while blending out the edges kind of transfers up, and then it just gives like a tiny little sparkle up top. Okay. Okay, like that. All right, so then for my lower lash line, I'm just gonna use a mix of the two browns that I used. I'm not gonna bother putting anything in my outer V because it's just gonna fade away and potentially get creased, and I'd rather have nothing there than to have creases there. But I can make the lower lash line a little bit more dramatic. Ready to go. Looking for my little sponge. Oh, there it is. It's hiding. Okay, I'm just gonna put some mascara on. Oh, let me put something in the inner corner. Just gonna do a white shimmer. All right, put some mascara on. I'm just gonna use the CoverGirl Clump Crusher. Love this stuff. I started using this. I opened the tube up pretty much right after I filmed my favorite, like my top 3 products from every category. I did that a few months ago. And I've been using this pretty much non-stop since I opened it. I think this is my second tube. Oh no, maybe it's my first one, but I have a backup waiting. So this one and the pink and green Maybelline are pretty much what I'm using at the moment, and that's it. I don't really put mascara on my bottom lash line, so I'm not going to today. All right, so for lipstick, of course I have to wear red lip because it's Taylor's signature color, and I love red lips, and this is Flower Beauty Poppy Pout. I'm not really good at putting lipstick on. I always end up going outside and then I have to like clean it up, so I do my best. All right. All right, guys, that is the finished makeup look. I will come back later after I've, scrunched out the crunch of my hair and I've got my outfit on, and I will show you the finished look. But this is the makeup for now. Really, really like how it turned out. And I'll be back in a little bit. All right, guys, this is my outfit. I took inspiration from her song 22 from her Red album, which is my favorite album. Lyrics, it feels like a perfect night to dress up like hipsters. So I'm wearing my hipster outfit, excuse biscotti in the background. So I've got my ripped distressed jeans, and then my black penny loafers, which are iconic for hipsters, and they like to show their socks. So I've got my jeans cuffed, and then I've got my cute little lace socks, and then I've got my stripes, and I've got my oversized cardigan. Oversized sweaters, cardigans are very hipster, and then of course I have my fedora because like wide brim hats, fedoras, pageboy hats, those are very classically hipster. And then I've got casual, kind of like undone hair. So this is my hipster outfit. I was initially going to wear a red dress. I had ordered from Amazon. I was gonna wear a red dress, and then I was gonna wear my penny loafers, and then I was gonna wear a fedora, but the dress ended up coming in late. It ended up coming in, but I was planning for plan B in case it didn't come in on time, and I just loved plan B outfit so much that when the dress came in, I just was gonna wear this outfit regardless, and then the dress doesn't even look good anyway, so I'm glad I went with my hipster outfit. And that's that, and I'll include pictures and then close-up pictures of my makeup.